So let's start today's important news. Indian coffee exports surpassed $1 billion for the first time. India achieved a significant milestone. India's coffee exports hit a new record high, exceeding $1 billion for the first time. Coffee exports reached $1 billion for the first time. Center for Monitoring of Indian Economy. Center for Monitoring of Indian Economy. CMIE. Center for Monitoring of Indian Economy have given this report. Coffee exports surpassed $1 billion. So my question is, how many varieties of coffee will actually produce in India? Two varieties of coffee, Arabica and Robusta. Arabica and Robusta. The sudden spike in export value is due to the surge in Robusta coffee prices. Because Robusta coffee prices got increased, there was a sudden surge in the export value. The surge in coffee exports is driven by higher demand for Robusta coffee in global markets. Among the most important destinations for Indian coffee exports are Turkey, UAE, Italy, and Russia. So, the people who enjoy India's Robusta coffee, the countries which enjoy India's Robusta coffee are Turkey, UAE, Italy, and Russia. They mostly enjoy our coffee. Why suddenly Robusta value got increased? Brazil's drought. Brazil recorded drought, which has significantly impacted its coffee crop. The world's largest coffee crop is at Brazil, but Brazil had a severe drought. So there is no much production of coffee crop from Brazil. So Indian Robusta coffee got its value more and more in the international markets. So when people get addicted to have coffee every day in the morning, they will have good coffee every day. So they cannot compromise with that. For that reason, Robusta coffee is very famous internationally. They are very famous internationally. I wish to tell you one important statement here. With respect to tea, coffee, silk, and other important varieties, they'll ask you the types and what's the difference between tea and coffee, or what is the difference between Arabica and Robusta, like that. Arabica and Robusta are the two species which are very famous in coffee. There are two common coffee species, and there's a difference between Arabica and Robusta in taste, appearance, and conditions, growing conditions. Arabica coffee beans have a milder, sweeter, and more refined flavor with fruity and floral notes. Robusta coffee beans have a strong, bitter taste. See, if you enjoy coffee, an element of bitterness, you can find it in Robusta more than Arabica. Arabica beans are oval shaped and oiler than Robusta beans. Robusta beans are more circular and fewer in oils. Arabica trees grown at high altitudes, typically between 3000 to 6000 feet. Robusta trees grow at a low altitude and are more resistant to disease, drought, and pest. Robusta beans have a higher caffeine content than Arabica beans. Robusta beans have a caffeine content of 2.7%, while Arabica beans have a caffeine content of 1.5%. Arabica plant grows between 2.5 and 4.5 meters high, while Robusta plants can grow up to 6 meters high. So both Arabica and Robusta are very famous coffees, but Robusta coffee is more in caffeine content and it is more tastier, and the bitterness also you can find more in Robusta. In India, Coorg Arabica coffee is grown in Kodagu district in Karnataka, and Wayanad Robusta coffee is grown in Wayanad district of Kerala. India is the world's sixth largest coffee producer and exports around 70% of its production. Basically, we are the producers of Arabica, but right now the trend is increased for Robusta. Mostly we are producing 60% of Robusta in our country. Long back a question was asked in UPSC. Mulberry, Tusser, Muga, etc. They are which varieties? They are silk varieties. Robusta and Arabica, difference between Robusta and Arabica, or difference between tree plantation and coffee plantation. These questions we can expect in UPSC. Done? Let's go to the next topic. India announced immediate relief assistance worth $5 lakh to Vanuatu in the wake of devastating earthquake. India's MEA have given a statement. The MEA, Ministry of External Affairs, said India extended its deep condolences to the government and people of Vanuatu for the damage and destruction caused by this unprecedented disaster and conveyed readiness to extend all possible support and assistance in times of difficulty in Vanuatu. An important pillar of India's Indo-Pacific Ocean Initiative, announced by Prime Minister Modi in November 2019, is Disaster Risk Reduction and Management. Indo-Pacific Ocean Initiative. In that, an important pillar is disaster risk reduction and disaster management. So, we are now offering help to Vanuatu. So, an earthquake of magnitude 7.4 struck the Vanuatu coast in South Pacific Ocean. Vanuatu is in the South Pacific Ocean. National Center of Seismology reported that the earthquake occurred. Today is January 3rd, Savitribai Phule's birthday. Telangana government yesterday night issued a notification declaring that today is Women Teachers Day. Every year, state should celebrate January 3rd as Women Teachers Day. Why? Listen. Savitribai Phule is considered as a first female teacher in India informally, not formally declared. Her husband, Jyotiba Phule, educated her. They got married at a very young age and he made her a teacher. She became a first teacher in spite of all odds, in spite of lot of challenges. She used to teach vulnerable children. Every day morning when she used to go to the school, most of the Orthodox sections used to throw some water or cow dung on her. So she used to change her sari after going to the school because people doesn't like her teaching women kids, child kids, particularly female kids. For that reason, she was not allowed in many places. So in spite of all these things, and she was wife of Jyotiba Phule, who was a famous social reformer, and he wrote Gulam Giri and also started Satyasodak Samaj, also called as Truth Seekers Society. Both Jyotiba Phule and Savitribai Phule, both Jyotiba Phule and Savitribai Phule, they both are considered as the social reformers in India, and there was an university named after Savitribai Phule in Maharashtra. Okay, today is in Telangana for the first time we are celebrating as Women Teachers Day. Yesterday night, Telangana government have issued a notification in this respect. Okay, next. India's Defence Ministry declared the present year 2025 as a year of defence reforms and that the focus will be to roll out integrated theatre commands to boost tri-services synergy and ensure simpler and time-sensitive military procurement with a broader aim to transform the military into technologically advanced force. The overall aim of the 9-point reforms planned by Defence Ministry would be to ensure deeper collaboration among the key stakeholders, break silos, eliminate inefficiencies, and optimize utilization of resources. So, here the keyword rolling out integrated theatre commands to boost tri-services synergy. Tri-services includes Army, Navy and Air Force. So, there should be integrated commands so that all the three services will have more and effective and efficient coordination. This is called tri-services synergies and integrated command system. So, this year 2025 is marked by the Ministry of Defence as the year of defence reforms. Next, abolition of capital punishment in Zimbabwe. The old name was Zimbabwe was Rhodesia. Abolition of capital punishment in Zimbabwe. In India, capital punishment is existed, still existing. In India, we have capital punishment in existence, still existing. And we implement capital punishment in the rarest of the rare cases. We implement the capital punishment in the rarest of the rare cases. India and Bangladesh announced that they have agreed to release the fishermen in each other's custody after they cross the border. According to the agreement, Bangladesh will hand over 95 Indian fishermen to Indian authorities on January 5th, while India will release 90 Bangladeshi fishermen on the same day. The mutual exchange of fishermen and their vessels has been worked out, keeping in mind the primary humanitarian and livelihood concerns of the fishing communities of both sides. ISRO to launch US satellite that enables voice calls via smartphones from space. The Indian Space Research Organization is reportedly planning to launch an American communication satellite this year that will allow phone calls using direct connectivity from the space. It's a path breaking thing, right? ISRO is launching US satellite. Next. There are signs of hope for turtle dove. Turtle dove is one of the most endangered birds that have been plummeted towards extinction in Britain. After a temporary ban on the annual shoot of the migratory birds as they pass through France, Spain, and Portugal, which began in 2021, there has been a remarkable 25% increase in its Western European population, which includes 2,000 individuals clinging on in England. This means an extra 4 lakh breeding pairs across the Western Europe for a species that has reduced in number in UK by 98% over the last 30 years. See, there is a endangered bird. It's a migratory bird. Regularly, it will migrate in this season from Spain, France, and Portugal to UK. And interestingly, the bird is shooted. They used to hunt the bird. So in 2021, there's a ban that was imposed on the shooting of the bird. Now, the population of turtle doves got increased, considerably increased. Basically, turtle doves, a migratory bird, the population is dwindling, and it was in the endangered category in the IUCN list. It was in the endangered category in IUCN list. India ranked second in global cyber attack targets. According to a report by cyber intelligence firm Cloud SEK, according to the report by cyber intelligence firm Cloud SEK, US was the most targeted country with 140 attacks due to its economic dominance and digital infrastructure, followed by India, where data of 95 entities were attacked in 2024. India ranked as the second most targeted country for cyber attacks globally in 2024. Most important news for today: Dhyan Chand Khel Ratna Awards. 4 important sports persons from India: Manu Bhaker, Gukesh Damaraju, Harmanpreet Singh, and Praveen Kumar. They have been recognized for Dhyan Chand Khel Ratna Award. Double Olympic medalist Manu Bhaker has been chosen for Major Dhyan Chand Khel Ratna Award. World Chess Championship Gukesh, men's hockey captain Harmanpreet Singh, and Paralympic gold medalist Praveen Kumar. As per an announcement made by the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports, President Draupadi Murmu will present the sports awards at Rashtrapati Bhavan at 11 a.m. on January 17th to these players. Okay. So, along with all these 4 players, 32 Arjuna Awards were also announced. Apart from Khel Ratna Awards, Arjuna Awards were also announced. Arjuna Lifetime Awards were also announced. And many other sports related awards were also announced on this occasion. And coming to Telangana, if you observe, para athlete from Telangana state, Jeevanji Deepthi got Arjuna Award. A para athlete from Telangana, Jeevanji Deepthi, has been selected for Arjuna Award for outstanding performance in sports and games in 2024. Deepthi won a bronze medal in women 400 meters T20 category race in Paris Paralympics this year. So, Khel Ratna Awards were announced. Your duty is, what is the difference between Khel Ratna and Arjuna Awards? And Khel Ratna is the highest sports award in India. Khel Ratna Awards actually were named as Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna. From 2021 onwards, the name was changed. They made Major Dhyan Chand Khel Ratna Awards. Earlier it were called as Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna Awards. For Khel Ratna, you will get 25 lakh cash, whereas for Arjuna Award, you will get 15 lakh cash. Along with that, there is a difference between Khel Ratna and Arjuna. Khel Ratna is the topmost award in India. Okay, Major Dhyan Chand Khel Ratna Award. You are expected to study on various sports awards that were presented yesterday, that were announced yesterday. Okay, done. This is the news for today.